On this episode of Pimp My Setup, we're going to be talking about your setups you submitted for tips, tricks, feedback, and much more. So if you're interested in that, then sit back, relax, and interact because the show starts
now.
It's time for the original setup show dedicated to providing you with tips, tricks, and feedback to pimp out your setup. Hosted by Matt Philly with new special guests every week. Coming at you live in 3, 2, 1.
This episode of Pimp My Setup is sponsored by EasyAcc. Check out their rugged 20,000 milliamp power bank you can use to keep your devices charged while playing Pokemon Go. Also, check out their Bluetooth earbuds, which are perfect for listening to music on the go. Full link to both products and more down below in the description. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pimp My Setup episode number 122. We're going live on July 21st, 2016. My name is Matt Philly. You can find me on Twitter at MattPhilly.
My name is Kole Hogan. You can find me on pretty much everything if you just go to loveparabellum.tech. All my social links are there.
Sweet. Did you say Hulk Hogan? No. If you say your name quick and like a little muffled, it does kind of sound like it. Quick shout out to EasyAcc for sponsoring today's episode. Here are the Bluetooth headphones, earbuds, whatever you want to call them, really like that. And then we also got the power bank. So if you're playing a lot of Pokemon Go, you got to pick something up to, you know, keep your battery charged. So check out EasyAcc, link down below. But without further ado, let's get right into the setups. First one of the day submitted by Ethan. Ethan says, I love... Wait, is that it? No, that's not it. His name is... Why do I do this every single episode lately? I still have the old setups up. This is submitted by Onder. Way on Onder. Let's see. Melbourne, Australia, mechanic. When he's not working on PCs, he's working on cars. He would like some opinions on what he can do. And here's the funny thing. He's got himself a Gengar theme, which is Pokemon. And this was all the way back in April. So he's an OG Pokemon fan. He's not a bandwagon Pokemon Go fan, which, you know, props for that. But taking a look at this, how old do you think Onder is?
I'm going to have to go with like 24.
24? Oh, my God. He's 23.
I
So
knew
close.
he had to be around my age just because of, OG Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, look at some of the stuff he has. I don't even know what those like weird plushy things are. They're, I don't know, but they look weird.
It looks like Mew, and then I'm not sure who the other one is. Is it Clefairy? I can't zoom in. There we go. That's not one of the originals.
So maybe, I don't even know what they are though, like what kind of collectibles. Interesting nonetheless. And he said that it's a Gengar theme, but really it's just a wallpaper and one plush. So I don't know really why you would even I would say more it's a Pokemon theme, if anything. Yeah, you have purple LEDs, but you know, if you really want to sell it, you got to get some artwork. I mean, you have pictures of the cars behind your desk that you can't even see. Like, literally, the one is just covered. So it's almost like, why is it hung up there? And it doesn't really fit if you are going for that quote-unquote Gengar theme. But taking a look at this, what were your initial thoughts?
I'm not sure what the theme was looking at it at first. Like, other than him saying Gengar, I looked at it and I was like, is this guy a car fan, a Pokemon fan, both? Because it's like, I like cars, but not enough to put them in the front. So I just cover everything up. And then I'm not sure, like, the whole security camera thing. Yeah, it's nice to have your security cameras visible, but just kind of sitting off to the side in the photo. I don't know how I feel about that.
Plus, I mean, in terms of usability, it's a big-ass printer right there. How can you really see the security camera without having to... If you're sitting at your desk, you can't see it because of your computer. You know, so that's like probably really annoying if you actually want to keep your eye on it. Normally, when you have that set up, you want it in a spot where you can see it, whether it's hanging overhead or to the side or something like that. But over here, I mean, it's completely off to the side. The right side of the photo is a complete mess, to say the least. I do think the PC needs to go under your desk. If it doesn't fit where your subwoofer is, then you got to put it to the side of the desk on the left. And you need to clean up those cables. It's a complete mess. And really, it's just like this kind of desk. I don't like it because it constrains you to have a certain height, and it's kind of like a full box around your setup. So I always say to people that that's not the best because you don't have freedom. If you want to get another monitor, it wouldn't really work. So it's just not ideal. And I think that you could definitely have a better attempt at theme if you had no hutch, because then you could have the shelf in the middle and have the pictures going around it, and it would just look a lot nicer. But if this was your setup, what's the first thing you're going to do to make it better?
The first thing I'm going to do is just clean up the cabling. He does have that backdrop underneath the desk a little bit, so I know power cords and everything can kind of be hidden behind that pretty easily. And then I would take that modem on the right hand side, and I would hide that actually behind the desk probably or somewhere. You don't need to see that.
Yep.
There's no purpose of seeing it. Even if it's wireless, it's not going to make a big difference if you move it back behind there.
Yeah, I agree. You don't need it there. And you know how you were saying that you could hide all the power strips and everything behind that board? He doesn't even do that. He has under the subwoofer a power strip mounted to the underside of that, which is just kind of weird. If you're going to go for that, why not have some sort of like... You get some wood that just kind of covers that up, because if you're going to go that route, you might as well just cover it up, because it is an eyesore, especially with the white. I think that's like a Wi-Fi extender plugged in.
It looks to be one of the power line kits from
okay,
D-Link,
yeah.
I'm guessing, which if it is a power line kit, never plug those into a surge protector. You get terrible signal interference when you're using them, and you get crazy drops in your speed. So... definitely don't plug that in.
Now you know. All right, so let's just go to the next setup submitted by Lewis. Lewis, let's see. Trying to read his thing. I use a setup for gaming, and that's about it. And that's really all he told me about himself. So, taking a look at this, how old do you think he is?
I'm going to go with he's 14.
13. Wow, you're going to be off by 1 for every single age.
I know.
So taking a look at this, what gave it away that he was 13? Oh, well, 14 to you, but 13.
I mean, just the overall components. He's definitely younger. He's definitely getting by with what he has. Doesn't have his own job, I'm guessing. That, and he's probably pretty limited by what he can do to his room based off what his mom says.
Yeah.
So that's why some of the stuff is the way it is. Like that mirror.
Yeah, that is really weird to me. Because think about when he's actually sitting at his desk and it's nighttime, and like let's say something flashes on his monitor so it lights up his face, and then he sees himself in the mirror. He like shits himself. He's like, oh my God. And then he realizes like, oh, it's just my mirror. No big deal. And also what's really weird to me is like, maybe it's just because he's using flash, but the monitors in the TV look very off. Like the TV looks super dim. The colors on the actual monitor look weird. The whole overall setup, like, it just gives me a weird vibe. Like, whoever thought of putting the mirror there? I mean, it is a built-in desk, and I get that, and it's like, it's a nice desk, but I just feel like nothing else really was done right, especially that shelf for the Xbox. I mean, it's a different color. Why isn't it white? The cable management out of the grommet is awful. It looks like someone just dropped spaghetti noodles all over the place. And then the left side's completely empty, and there's like nothing going on there. So I think, if anything, the TV should go where the mirror is, right up above, and it would make a little bit more sense. What would you do to the setup?
Well, like the whole mirror thing, I just don't even... seriously, the setup looks like he went and took over his older sister's makeup counter. And I mean, I would just get rid of the mirror, and I think that would clean a lot of things up. The TV, yeah, if you mounted that up above like you said, I would maybe try to paint that shelf that he has the Xbox on white or black, kind of stay with the theme. Other than that, I think, yeah, just getting rid of that mirror would make a huge difference.
Oh yeah, and it's just weird, like I don't know why it was ever placed there in the beginning, but who knows? Maybe he has like an addiction to mirrors where wherever he goes, he needs one looking at him. Who knows? But yeah, let's just go to the next setup, because I think the next one deserves a little bit more time. And what I think is funny about this episode is there's a lot of different themes. In this scenario, we have Panda. And I know everyone from the age of 10 to about 17 is now dabbing because they're like, thinking of the Panda whatever song. But taking a look at this, let's see. His name is Manny. His favorite color is orange. His favorite animal is a marsupial. No, I'm kidding. It's a panda. He says his theme is panda, and he has some other things in there that he likes. Let's see. He would like some feedback, things he can improve. And he said he's more of a console person. Don't hate. So guys, don't hate. And he also has a Blue Yeti. So this guy's just really taking an L here. So how old do you think he is?
I'm going to have to go with 15.
Oh my God, he's 16. But even better, he's going to be turning 17 on August 8th. So happy early birthday, Panda. His username is actually Pandoozles and also Revved Up Panda. So that's interesting. But yeah, taking a look at this, my initial thoughts were, it's interesting. I don't know if the artwork is actually like his personal branding for his channel or whatever he does, or if that's like something that he just bought. I don't know. Maybe someone can tell me. But if he did the artwork himself, that's even better. But also, it's just, for me personally, it's a little overwhelming. I mean, your Blue Yeti is being held by a panda, and like you have a panda overlooking you at your monitors and a panda in every section of your room. But what did you think about the panda theme?
I mean, he did it all. He definitely did the panda throughout everything, and if that's what he likes, I mean, go for it, man.
Yeah. So what would you do to make this setup better?
I clean up the cables, obviously. On the desk especially, and then if you kind of zoom in on the cables over on that far on the second picture, the TV and stuff he has with the printer underneath it, clean up the cables on that. Other than that, I would I don't know, the Blue Yeti doesn't look like it's in use. It looks like it just has the cable wrapped around it. So if you're not using it and you want to display it, make it look like it's in use. If you don't want to do that, put it away somewhere where it's hidden. I don't want to see cables just wrapped around something not being used, because it's like, if you're not going to use it, put it in a drawer or something. So I would do that. Props to putting the PC up on a board. That's all you have to do a lot of times to get it off the carpet. So really proud of him for doing that. The mouse pad on top of the mouse pad. Now, I know it's going to sound a little contradictory, because I actually run a Razer Vespula on top of an XXL Glorious PC Master Race pad. But I'm running a very specific mouse pad that's large on top of a massive gaming mat. That's a pretty small mouse pad he has there.
Yeah, and when you move it around, is it really big enough for what you're doing? Like, it almost defeats the purpose. But
it doesn't look any different. Like, the material can't be better than that mouse pad is. It's not like it's a specific speed surface or control surface. It's just a regular mouse pad on top of a gaming mat.
Maybe it's a bamboo mouse pad that helps save pandas in the wild. We don't know. It could be. Which is also weird. Why is there no bamboo, right? Isn't that like a panda thing? I mean, I'm not a zoologist by any means, but I would assume that you'd want some bamboo in this setup. Like a bamboo. They make bamboo everything. Like, it's insane. Love to see some bamboo in the setup. Like, do you have bamboo pillows? It's a thing, right? It's pretty crazy. Oh my God, I just realized his bed, his sheets and everything are actually pandas. What the
even that blanket, that throw blanket has pandas.
Oh my God, that's kind of creepy, man. I'm just, I'm always talking about flamingos. And the funny thing is, I don't even like flamingos at the end of the day. I mean, like, it was just kind of an accident that they became the Flamingo squad of the channel and everything. But I mean, this guy really went all out. He's got the orange panda decal letters. He's got everything, a vacuumed floor. Props for that. It seems like overall like a really nice setup, like a nice room overall, which is awesome. And it is clean, and you do need to just clean up the cables above the desk. People think, oh, there's no cables on the floor, we're good to go. It's like, nah, man, you gotta keep it consistent throughout the whole setup. Like you said, PC on the board, great. Overall, really, really nice setup, but we do have a lot of setups to go through, and this next one needs our help. So, let's see, Peter, submitted by Peter. He's near Toronto, Ontario, damn it, Canuckville. whatever, Canadians. That's how I'll just say it. He's older, a little bit older, and he's been watching the show. It inspired him to recently clean up, which means cable management, vacuuming under the desk, breaking out zip ties, and stuff like that. Which I'm gonna be like, people are gonna think I'm a dick this time, but like, if he cleaned up, I want to see what it looked like before, you know, because I still think there's a bit to be done. But yeah, take a look at this. How old do you think he is?
I'm gonna have to go 38.
He is 53.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so a little bit older, and yeah, I mean, here's the thing.
Did it say what he does for a living? Chance? Because I'm wondering if he actually works from this setup every day, or
I'm trying to see.
Because he's got a lot of stuff if he doesn't work from this setup every day.
Yeah, he's been off work since late 2013. Stressed, burnout, minor PTSD.
And you said he's Canadian?
Yes.
So he's got, that's a first Cav badge. And then he's got Army Airborne and Ranger badges up there. So I'm not sure. Those are all U.S. patches, unless he was on one of the joint forces, maybe.
It doesn't say anything.
That's
yeah,
really weird if he's Canadian and has a lot of U.S. Army stuff.
Yeah, maybe if he's in the chat, he can explain. I'll keep sifting through the email, see, because it's a pretty long email. So he may have actually talked about it, and I'm just not seeing it. But in the meantime, let me quickly say this. He has a YouTube channel, youtube.com/ God damn it, I'm going to say this wrong. CAPTUSAGI63. There we go. You can do that. So go check him out there. But yeah, this setup, I see what he's going through, and this is how a lot of like old, because it's an old school desk, you know, a lot of old school stuff. Everything looks pretty much like a Staples pickup, and I could see what he's going for, but it's just, I think the definition of the setup is cluttered. And I mean, if this is your setup, what's the first thing you're going to do other than drop a C4?
I mean, I'm going to go through and see if these are all papers and stuff I actually need.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I personally don't have many papers anywhere, even at work. Everything's digital now. Make it digital. It looks like he has a scanner bed there.
Mm.
So make it digital, put it somewhere. Also, he has a ton of CDs. If you're not using those every day, put them somewhere, not where I can see them. That's what I would do with that. And then power strip wise, this dude's going to blow a breaker or something. There's a lot of power strips in this setup for one room.
Yeah.
So probably just, I mean, I know he said he just cleaned it up, but clean it up more.
Yeah, he also said that he served in Germany and he also collects stuff. So I guess he collects all those patches and things like that, which is pretty cool. I like that cork board. I think that's really awesome, but I don't think people really like notice that it's even there because of all the stuff going on. So I think if he was to simplify, I mean, clean out this room completely, probably get new furniture altogether, simple desk, have the wall really nicely designed with the cork board and all the other frames that he has, that would really emphasize that, which I think is what makes this setup unique, because otherwise it just gets drowned out. But if you look at the other, like the third photo, he's got a lot of awesome collector stuff, like really, really cool stuff. But I think that there's just too much going on to where, like I said, the focus isn't on the collectibles. It's more like, whoa, there's a lot of stuff in this room. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's got some older collectible stuff too. Like if you go back to some of that Star Trek stuff he has in that third photo, he has some really, really neat older collectible stuff. So maybe just display that more. I think this third photo definitely helped his score out a little bit. Mm-hmm. If he didn't include this, it would have been probably ones across the board pretty much.
Yeah,
but
no, I agree with that totally. I mean, it's not a bad setup. It's just there's too much, and a lot of people deal with that. And then once you clean it up, you have everything you need to make it a great setup. You don't need $1 million, in terms of equipment. I think that the monitor's fine. I think all that stuff is fine. It's just not displayed correctly, and usability is kind of, lost in that sense. But let's go to the next setup submitted by Mike from the Netherlands. He's been a perfectionist for quite some time, and he loves minimalistic themes. The desk is always empty, and his room is always clean. No junk unless he's working on something specific. Now, I have some things to say, but I guess before we do that, how old do you think he is?
All right, so the Netherlands, I think they can drink younger than us. And it looks like he's in a partying stage, so I'm going to go with 19.
21.
21.
So around there. Yeah, when I first saw the subject for the email, it said minimalist and perfectionist setup. I was expecting not this, honestly. If you were to cancel out everything other than the monitors and everything on the desk, I would be like, yeah, that's a very minimalistic, straight to the point setup. But with the way I see everything to the left, to the right, and above, I'm like, whoa, that's not minimalistic. That's overkill. I mean, I know some people are really into their alcohol, but goddamn, I personally don't like the whole layout of this room. I don't think that it looks good. I think the shelves above are very oddly placed, and I think that it's like, personally, I don't like that. I think to the left looks dirty. Look, it could be the cleanest thing ever, but just it looks overcrowded. It looks not minimalistic one bit. The right side, I think, same thing. PC's in a cool spot, but it looks like to the right there's some stuff just chilling over there. I don't know if you get the same vibe, but I don't think I would classify the whole setup as minimalistic, other than the desk.
Yeah, I'm not going to classify this one as minimalistic. As a person that has a pretty minimalistic setup, there's a lot of, like, those shelves are all full. Mm-hmm. And then that left-hand side, it's full. So there's no way that this is a minimalistic setup in that aspect. And then, like, yeah, the desk is clean, but you just threw all that stuff on your shelves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then on top of the drawers on the other side. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it's really actually a clean setup. And the hats up there, I mean, they're just kind of chilling up there on a Jameson container.
Yeah. It's,
so I don't really get it.
Yeah, and underneath, you look at where the phone is, like, there's a lot of crap on that shelf. And I don't know, when I think minimalistic, I think pure white setup. I think, like, super clean every little inch of the room, perfectly spaced out little shelves with like one thing on each shelf because they're that much of like a minimalist. But this is like, I mean, it just screams alcoholic to me more than anything. Which again, if you collect that stuff and you think that's cool. It doesn't matter if I like it or not. I don't think it's a minimalistic setup at all. And a lot of people are saying in the chat, someone specifically said, the desk itself, everything from the speakers down, really minimalistic, really nice. Everything above and around that, not quite. Not,
the only
not
thing I would fix on the under the desk is it looks like he's missing the veneer from that shelf on the end. That kind of sticks out like a sore thumb to me.
Yeah.
That's not like the wood. I don't know if that shelf's just maybe on backwards or if he cut it off another piece, but you can get the veneer cover for that at pretty much any home store and just cover it up.
Yeah, and also it's cool that he has the knives, framed, and he has the one photo frame, but that also looks stupid. I mean, if we're being honest here and you're really going for that minimalistic look, you're far from it, and I don't think that. And people are going to say I'm a dick, but first off, we're nitpicking because, like I said, everything on the desk is perfect, but there's a difference when you claim to be a minimal kind of setup and it's not close to that. But, you guys could be the deciders in the chat. And
I think if you want to be more minimalistic, take the knives out of the frame. Take them out of the frame and just get some sticky on the back of them and stick them directly to the wall. I think that looks more minimalistic.
Yeah, if anything, a real minimalist would have the setup the way it is, but then nothing on the wall except for the two knives. And that would be like, that would be his personality. You know what I mean? So, anyways, let's go to the next setup submitted by Marc. Marc is from Austria, and he said, looking forward to seeing my setup on your show. And also, the radiator is not in use. So anyways, how old do you think Marc is?
This is a tough one because he didn't really give us much to go off of.
Yep.
I'm going to have to go with 16.
18.
18.
Yeah, so taking a look at this, first off, America?
Yeah, this is another one of those setups. Like, I guess everyone loves the USA, but
Yeah.
and the only reason I knew that he definitely was, you go to the power plugs, they're not US power plugs. So
Yeah. And it's funny, it's like every other country, when it comes to having a photo of a city on their wall, it's always New York City. You know, it's always like the Big Apple, and they're not even from America. So it's like very odd that you would have that canvas art of America. But okay.
and then you'd have, it looks like Utah as the one background.
Yeah. So maybe he really wants to live in America. But whatever. So taking a look at this cable management compared to the other setups we've seen. I mean, this is managed. It's under the desk. It's not drooping down. It looks really nice. I like that the one cable going in to plug is red. It's like very, you know, that's cool because his color of the wall is red. Not that it's really going against the red part of the wall. It's still, you know, if we're going to see a cable, I'd rather see that than, you know, some spider webs dropping down. But setup very clean to the point, has a theme for, you know, I mean, look, even his freaking keyboard's got the blue on it, like red, blue, white.
Yeah, he carried it throughout very well. And the mouse, he's got the blue on the mouse.
Very interesting. So taking a look at this, what are your thoughts?
Very well cable managed. This guy did a good job with that. Now, I know some people would say, you know, drill the hole and put the keyboard and the mouse cable through it, but on a black desk like that, you honestly don't see them that much anyways, because they blend in pretty well.
Yeah.
So, is that the RGB remote that he has a little hanger there for? Because that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it looks like it's a nice little clip-on thing that he just slides it into.
So, I mean, if he's switching his LEDs a lot, but my guess is with a theme like this, he's just not switching them much.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's leaving those red, I would get rid of that. Unless you just want to show off how many colors when the girls come over.
Watch this. Boom. That's a good way to pick up girls. Yeah, I mean, I love when people have the chair that matches the overall room. Like, that's always really nice. Wish there were some LEDs in that case, not going to lie. For a guy that seems to care about LEDs, I was a little upset with that. Speakers, I also thought were a bit weird. I would like to see to the left and to the right of the monitors, not one in the middle and then one to the right of the right monitor. Kind of odd in that sense, especially when you have what looks to be like a iPhone stand or something in front of the one speaker. Little odd, but simple to the point. It works, and I don't have any other thoughts unless you do.
If he puts LEDs in that case, he's going to have to learn how to cable manage a computer.
Ooh, burn.
If you just look through that side panel,
yeah,
the cables are all over the place, and maybe that's why he didn't put LEDs in there.
And that's why he bumped up the contrast of the photo. He's like, hopefully no one sees this.
Get the tempered side panel.
Yeah, right. Day. Yeah, you can do that. All right, let's go to the next setup submitted by FJ, aka Fwad. Just wanted to say his name. I think it's funny. Maybe that's not even how you pronounce it. But anyways, submitted by FJ from, goddamn, I'm going to say this wrong. Kuwait. I think it's Kuwait. Anyways, he's a PC gamer. He's been one since Half-Life 1 came out, and he hasn't stopped yet. And that's basically it. So taking a look at this, how old do you think FJ is?
27.
Holy crap, 26.
Ah.
Yeah.
I knew he had to be close if he played when Half-Life 1 was out. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this room is awesome. When you take a look at the far back shot, you'll see he's got a racing sim and whatnot. I can confirm he has a green chair. I think it's one of those DX Racer, GT Omega, one of those. That does look sick. I just didn't include the photo of it. So that I love that. It matches the color of his wall. Seems to really make sense because his keyboard, mouse pad, computer fans, everything seems to be green, and then he's got a red racing sim. Why? I don't know. But I love the desk. I love what he's going for in the setup. I do think it's great, but what the it's hard. I get it. You can't put your speakers in a spot where they're going to be perfect for listening, but I hate when people put their speakers in between their monitors. I mean, look at the image, the wallpaper, and see how the person's like cut in half. It's like, think about when you're gaming, or I guess you just game on the main display anyway, but still, it's just, what are your thoughts on separating monitors like that?
I'm not a big fan of it for monitors that are horizontal like that. Now, if you do vertical monitors, it's not as big of a deal. Mm-hmm. But yeah, those are, I believe, the Logitech Z200 speakers. I would take those, and you can actually take the stands and stuff off of them and maybe just lay them sideways below the monitors. Yeah.
That, or maybe, no, that'd be stupid. Yeah, no,
you could put a little shelf above the monitors even.
Yeah.
And put them sideways up there, or put them directly on the wall. They're not that heavy.
Yeah, they're super lightweight, which would make life a lot easier. But I do think you could figure it out. Maybe, now call me crazy, but maybe you don't even need those two other displays. I don't know what it is that you do other than game. If you do game, I can understand needing like a secondary display just for, having everything else open while you're playing full screen on the one display. But really, I mean, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard because I see what you're trying to do. And overall, I do really like this setup, though. I like the above shelf because I like that the PC's up there. You could see it, but it's out of sight. It's kind of underwhelming, all the stuff on the shelf, but it is simple. So I give you props for not letting it be like a mess. And I think that's the problem with most people. It's normally a mess. You know what I mean? People don't like the graphics cards. Some people think it's cool. What are your thoughts on the graphics cards being up there?
I'm not a big fan of hardware like that just laying out for a couple reasons. One, dust. I mean, unless you're cleaning them. Keep the boxes for your stuff like that and just put it back in the box if you're going to keep it for any length of time. Otherwise, they actually do make just cheap plexiglass enclosures. You can put them over. If you're really proud of it, then do something like that. Don't just leave them sitting up there. Mm-hmm. And then the whole other stuff up there, because it looks like there's one other thing other than the graphics card laying down the side there. Not sure what it is, but it looks like a PCI cover slot for something. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, and they're not really oriented. Like, it looks like he just threw them up there. They're not really oriented the same way or anything. Mm.
Yeah, it's definitely personal preference. Maybe they're broken. Maybe something's up with them. Still cool, though. I love this setup. I think that it's really nice, has a lot of potential. And to have a racing sim readily available and have a lot of space to even store it is a big deal. Really like that. But a lot of people seem to not like the punch of the green, but personal preference, like everything. But all right, let's go to the next setup, submitted by Yarik. Yeah, Yarik. I put Yarik on accident. So let's see. Yarik is Dutch, I think, something like that. And I'm trying to see if there's anything about him. No, just basically specs. So, what do you think of this? How old do you think he is?
I'm going to have to go with 13.
15. Yeah. So, this is like under the bed. He's obviously limited on space because of that, but should be able to make it work, and I think he does an okay job at that. Underneath, not bad at all. I would just kind of clean up that cable, have it go to one of the sides so that you could run it up the leg. And then, what are your thoughts on this?
It needs cleaned up. Also, I'm not sure. Is that 2 subwoofers down there?
I was going to say that, but yeah, I think it I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, why else would you have... I mean, let's see. The one is... Zoom in here. Koenig? And then the other one is... No, I don't know. Something with an M. Yeah, I would assume that's both a subwoofer, but why?
And are they both powered off the same system?
I don't even know.
The speakers match the
one on the right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what the one on the left even is for, unless he has another set of speakers, maybe for his PlayStation, because it looks like he has a PS3 up there. Mm. So he might have one set of speakers on each item, but they make audio switches for that.
Yeah, but where would where would that subwoofer be going to anyway? Like, what other speakers? I don't see any other.
You might not see him in the picture is what I'm saying. He might have him somewhere else.
Then that's a weird spot for your subwoofer. Whatever. Regardless of speakers, what else would you do to make the setup better?
The right-hand side, those books that are just stacked on top of each other under the desk that you can see, put those somewhere on a bookshelf. Don't stack them right there. It looks really tacky. The cable management strung through the top of, I'm guessing that's his bed above him. Kind of take care of that and put it behind the desk maybe, or along the desk. Run it down those side poles. There's a lot of ways to hide that stuff, especially with an under the bed setup. He could actually get a piece of plywood and cover the entire underside of the bed and run stuff above it. Yeah,
which would be really helpful. And would look really cool, honestly, because I don't know if you want to see all that crap. But, and also I think the shelf is just weird. It's like you don't need that shelf. I think your monitor should be, if anything, mount the, I don't even know if that's a VESA monitor, but I would mount it on the wall, free up the space. The speakers are so small and they probably weigh close to nothing. And if you could just adhere them to the wall, that would be nice, so that they're just kind of sticking, and then you get some wire mold. Like, you could even run the cable behind the monitor so that you only have one thing of wire mold coming out. All the display connectors with all the speaker cables would look nice and clean.
People are saying in chat the other speaker is actually on that monitor stand. If you zoom in, it does kind of look like there's a second, like a different speaker that would match the other sub on the monitor stand.
Oh, right. What the well, if that's the scenario, I'm sorry, but that's stupid. Yeah, like you were saying, you don't need to have two sets of speakers, you know? So, yeah, I mean, okay. Some people really, I mean, I don't know how they zoom in. They're watching on YouTube. I guess really it's the contrast. If it tilt my display, I could actually see it a lot better. Yeah, very interesting. Good pickup, chat. But all right, let's go to the next setup. Submitted by Bryan, who is a graphic designer and gamer, and he's building his setup for 3 years now. And he didn't buy everything. He has a snowball. And okay, well, that's kind of weird. He said SMD, just kidding, big fan of the show.
Wow.
Okay. And he said, keep up the good work. So, taking a look at this and knowing his sense of humor, how old do you think he is?
I'm going to have to go with 14.
First one of the day correct. Ding, ding. Yeah. So, taking a look at this, I mean, he's a Ravens fan, which, you know, explains a lot. But, I mean, these setups always confuse me because it's such an easy fix. Such an easy fix, which I think a lot of people can understand where I'm going to go with this. But what do you think? Do you have the solution for him?
I mean, there's little things he can fix here and there. It's cable management. Taking that, it looks like a power line adapter, and flipping it the other way around so that cable's not coming out the top.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have to plug it in that way because that's the way the outlet is. Pretty much all those outlets, if you take the faceplate, take 2 screws out, you can actually flip them around and put them back in. So just
You're
flip
14.
that around.
Just use some supervision. Don't kill yourself.
Other than that, the webcam, is it looking at the side of his face most of the time?
That's the new trend, actually.
Is that what's up?
Yeah,
So,
don't show you front of your face. God forbid you do that.
I should probably move mine then.
Yeah, honestly, what are you doing? Are you a beginner? God.
The PlayStation games, put them on their side if you can, and like stand them up instead of stacking them like that. I just think they look cleaner.
Agreed.
Get rid of the random stickers. Granted, I know there's Disney ones there, so maybe he just did that for you.
Yeah, probably.
But I mean, just clean it up a little bit. Other than that, it's not terrible. You have everything you need.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to get out here. Like, it is such a simple fix. This setup can go from a hell no to a okay pretty easily. And all you need to do is kind of make it look like you know what you're doing. Because when I look at this, I'm like, the F? But if you center that Samsung display and you want to use that other Samsung display as a secondary monitor, make it match up. You got to play with the stand a little. It will actually match up. When you have that V sort of like disconnect from the two displays, it looks like crap and it makes it look half-assed. You know, really kind of push the monitors as far back as possible so that they're up against the wall because you don't have a lot of depth. And then really just it comes down to placement for a lot of these things. Put the keyboard at a reasonable space, match the mouse pad with it. And if you're going to take a photo, make it presentable. Really show off that this is an awesome setup, because the way that the 4 main components are set up right now, it does look pretty like half-assed lazy. Personality is really a struggle here. The Logic G Fuel thing, like, cool, Logic's cool, but like that is the most pointless thing I've ever seen on a wall before. Get rid of that. Get rid of the stickers. Get rid of the beanie. Burn it. And then get rid of all the other stuff that you have. The G Fuel stuff. I mean, do you really need 3 cups? I mean, I don't know if you really just, always pumping that fuel, bro. But I would clean that up. Snowball is fine, but give it the spot in the left where the G Fuel is. Get it out of the way because you're not using it all the time. And really, like, do something with the wall to make it yours. Maybe a framed poster, maybe a little something on the desk that shows who you are, but there's no color in this. There's nothing about you. The only thing we know is that, you work out, bro, like G Fuel. But that's about it.
Chat's just spamming phase pretty much.
Phase, yeah. Yeah. But seriously, I mean, if you're a Ravens fan, go for it. And why are you putting a beanie up there? You gotta wear that one day, and then it's like all nasty because of however you hung it up, or I don't know if you have it like stuck to the wall on something, or it's like a little nail, or I don't know what you're doing. But I would just fix that, make it yours, and you really do have everything you need. You just need to do it right. And speaking of having everything you need but not doing a good job with it, let's go to the next setup. Submitted by Dylan, who is a technician. He does aerial photography. His setup is used for editing photos. He also edits a lot of YouTube videos. You check out CH Beat Your Turtle with a D. Okay. And then let's see. Yeah. So taking a look at this, knowing what you know about him, how old do you think Dylan is?
I'm going to have to go with 20 years old.
20's 19. Yeah, so 19, and I expected more from him. I'm not gonna lie. Knowing that you're 19, knowing that you do aerial photography and you have clients and stuff, I expected that you would have a workflow that would represent that. I know it's not that hard to do aerial photography. That's actually something I'm getting into as well. And I see you have a nice drone and everything, which is awesome. But the thing is, this is just okay. He sent me his old photo, his old setup, and of course, like the dumbass I am, I didn't include it. It was way more simple. It just really was like straight to the point. Looked really nice. But now I feel like this desk does not work for a setup, and I don't know. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, it would easily be fixed unless he's using all of that space and has all the drawers and everything filled. I would just get a regular corner desk without the cabinets and stuff on top. Maybe just get like one of the ones, put an Alex drawer on the side, put all your stuff in there. If you want to display your Phantom, get a little shelf to display it on.
Yeah, I'm like, especially, here's the thing, if you're doing aerial photography, why don't you have the gimbal lock for your camera? That's like, I don't know, it's just something that I think about owning a drone, especially since I freaking crashed mine. I try to keep so much, I try to keep it in pristine condition, and little things like not having the gimbal lock on is not really the best. But I could see what you're going for, and I know you have everything you need, and like the backpack shouldn't be on the desk. I don't like that. I think that's key placement on your desk you could use for other things. Then
the posters aren't even lined up.
Yeah, very oddly placed too. Really just like you said, you don't need to hutch, get a corner desk, get something that works. You can make it work. You definitely can, but just with what you're working with right now, I don't see it really working in your favor until you get a new desk. Words. Did I even make sense? I don't know if any of that made sense.
Yeah, I mean, if he's gonna keep this desk, at least use the desk's potential to his advantage. Like, he has the cables hanging out from underneath the skirt. So you have that there in this setup. Just take it, push it up under there, hide it.
Yeah, and then also, if you do want to keep the desk, put the AOC to the left, keep the smaller one to the right. That way, it actually looks like you have the room, and it's not being squeezed under the hutch. But I don't know. I think the more you think about it, you'll realize that you don't need the hutch, and maybe you don't even need the desk at all because it is sort of a problem. But keep doing you, man. I think that, like I said, you're on the right track. You'll just find out the desk is what's holding you back. But anyways, yeah. Any final thoughts for him?
Nah, I mean, the desk would make a big difference, and then just cleaning up that cabling if he is going to keep the desk.
All right, so let's do this. Let's do the scores. We got Onder with a 65, Lewis with a 57, Manny with a 76, Peter with a 42, Mike with a 72, Marc with an 86, FJ with an 82, Yarik with a 55, Bryan with the 53, and Dylan with the 51. I would say a majority of those can easily get 20 points added to their score. Around there, at least. Most of these, I mean, the last three, those can get from the low 50s to high, mid or high 80s with just a little bit of work.
Oh, pretty easy.
Yeah, it all comes down to the different categories. Work on your setups. Go to pimpmysetup.com/Q, and a lot of the things that I tell you in the rules for taking photos is also something you should just do with your setup. Make it presentable, make it look good for the photos. Pretty simple, but that's gonna do it for this episode of Pimp My Setup, episode number 122. We're going to live on July 21st, 2016. A lot of fun. Definitely enjoyed it. And if you guys want to go check out Kole, then I will have all of his links down below in the description for you. And you go spam him with some Flamingo Squad hype. And that's gonna do it, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the flippity flop.